Okay, before I ship this one out, I wanted to show everybody this really unique piece. It was specially requested by one of my customers, and I hope you don't mind I'm doing a video of it before I send it off to you. You'd probably like to see what it looks like anyway, but I'm not going to say who it's for unless you want to divulge that. Okay, so he was looking for a piece that was unique in its features, and I found this one. This is another Isis. If you can see the Isis, the five-sided pentagon right here on the front. And it's also a Cathedral Lightbrary. It's a little play on words of light and library. So I'll explain a little bit about this. It's a natural piece, so this is how it came off the matrix. It's not polished or faceted or cut in any way, so we got a little pillow for it to stand on. And an Isis crystal, I'm not going to go over all of that again. I did go over that a little bit, and I'll put a link on the bottom to my last video on that talked about the Isis. But I did remember, and I'll show you the book in just a minute, that the Crystalline Transmission of Synthesis, a Synthesis of Light from Katrina Raphael, one of her series, it's actually volume 3, goes over the Isis crystal quite a bit. She goes into the whole story, the creation story of Isis, what the symbolism of the five-sided pentagon has to do with it, and why they call it an Isis crystal when you find a five-sided pentagon on it. And the five, what it has to do with Isis, the relationship or the symbolism, all the experiences. Part of it is all the experiences one must go through in life to get to their contact point. Trust, identifying with their intuitive knowledge, and with the whole, collective consciousness. And the five-sided geometric face represents the total attunement with the unifying of Source, that's what I call it, or universal consciousness, and the mental understanding of what life's lessons are, the heart's acceptance, and self-healing through the power of love. So if you really want to find out a whole lot about that, you'll want to read Katrina Raphael's book, or you can look up stuff online. Now, this is also known as a Lightbrary, or Cathedral Lightbrary. It was almost a twin, but this point right here didn't fully disconnect itself, so it's still part of this main piece. And sometimes they're even more fully integrated. You'll see like there's even less of the other points sticking out, more fully integrated. So it was almost a twin, but really not quite. And also on this side, I'm just noticing there are some etchings which are indicative of a record keeper. And there's other points too. There's another one here that is almost fully integrated into the crystal. There's little barnacles at the bottom. So this one's got quite a few features. There's another one right here, a lot of barnacles down here. So this is really actually an Isis, and it almost made another Isis pentagon here, but you'll notice there's an extra little edge right here that makes it six-sided, this geometric shape. So that's not really technically an Isis. The real Isis is right here. The pentagon is right here. So it's a barnacle, it's a Lightbrary cathedral, and it's an Isis. And what Lightbrary cathedrals are is, okay, they look like a cathedral because they have these various points integrated into one. There's always one main one in the middle. And they also represent basically what a cathedral represents for us in real life, a place or a center to find universal consciousness or connect with Source. It's like a place for gathering, to share an attunement to the light and the love of Source and your quest for greater truth and knowledge. That's where the Lightbrary part of it comes in. Apparently, and honestly, I have not ever meditated with a cathedral, but if you do meditate with them on a regular basis, you're supposed to start opening up to old records, like Akashic records, and this is known as a master crystal, according to Katrina Raphael. And meditating with these cathedral lightbraries actually shed light on this information and allow you into basically like the Hall of Records for source. So interesting piece, and something that when I get my own I'm going to have to try and go ahead and meditate with it. Now I want to show you this book. So this is it right here, The Crystalline Transmission, A Synthesis of Light by Katrina Raphael, and this is volume 3. And I made a couple markers here because she has really good pictures. There's a whole section in this book. You really want to get the whole series because there's so much information on all the different types of crystals. She has pictures and so much stuff. Okay, sorry here guys, let me put you down for a second. You're probably getting so dizzy. Alright, here's another kind of Cathedral Lightbrary where the points are really integrated, almost disappearing right into the main mother crystal in the center. And I just want to show you a picture of her Isis in here, if I can find it very quickly. Really long story on Isis crystals. Here's a picture of her Isis right here. And the Cathedral Lightbraries are usually large. You don't count the small points that have the same type of thing going on as a Cathedral Lightbrary. They're going to be large because they carry a lot of information in them. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show you for today, and crystal blessings everybody.